35 seconds? Let's go.
The King's Foundation is looking for the next generation of makers and change makers.
Are 35 under 35.
Are you passionate about
nature and sustainability,
Traditional crafts and heritage skills.
Fashion and textiles,
horticulture,
architecture,
Health and well-being.
organic farming,
or even beekeeping? We want to hear from you.
Be part of our 35th anniversary celebrations.
Let us make the change the King wants to see in the world.
Apply now on the King's Foundation website.
nailed it.
nice?
Hey, my amazing squaddies, no matter what kind of day you're having, I want you to know you are valued, you are appreciated, and you are exactly where you need to be. Welcome back to Daily Diaries Friday. This community is built on love, support, and positivity, and I'm so grateful that you're a part of it. Let's keep growing together, keep shining, and keep lifting each other up. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and share your thoughts and insights. Thank you for being the heart of Daily Diaries Friday. Today I have an interesting video, so stay tuned, squaddies, and let's dive in. The King's Foundation, now marking its 35th year, is attempting to maintain relevance with yet another tired, uninspired initiative. This time a so-called drive for young changemakers. Supposedly this effort aims to continue King Charles's lifelong obsession with the environment, arts, and heritage, but in reality it's little more than an elaborate PR stunt designed to polish the monarchy's image while doing virtually nothing of real substance. The premise is as predictable as it is uninspiring. The King's charities are on the lookout for individuals under 35, conveniently an age group that is largely indifferent to the royal family, who can promote traditional arts, textiles, architecture, urbanism, health, well-being, horticulture, and farming. It's a broad, unfocused set of causes that reads like a desperate attempt to be all things to all people, while in reality it serves none of these issues in any meaningful way. Instead of actually funding significant change, the Foundation is merely searching for unpaid ambassadors to do its promotional work for them. But this is the classic royal playbook, isn't it? A glossy initiative, heavy on rhetoric, light on action. For 35 years, the King's Foundation has existed largely as a vanity project for Charles, once the Prince of Wales, now King, allowing him to prattle on about traditional architecture, organic farming, and his abstract concept of harmony while sidestepping any real accountability. The Foundation's initiatives have always followed the same formula: identify some vague societal concern, launch an awareness campaign, recruit a few celebrities to lend it credibility, and then quietly let it fizzle out without producing any measurable results. Of course, what would a modern royal initiative be without a celebrity endorsement? Enter David Beckham, a man whose personal brand relies on appearing vaguely philanthropic without ever doing anything particularly controversial or groundbreaking. He appears in a lifeless 35-second video, repeating bland corporate-approved talking points about nature, sustainability, and farming. Buzzwords designed to make the entire campaign seem modern and urgent, despite the fact that Charles has been spouting the same rhetoric for decades with little to show for it. Beckham's presence is entirely performative, much like his other royal adjacent engagements, where he appears just enough to remain in the monarchy's good graces without actually contributing anything of worth. And Beckham isn't alone in this farcical parade of celebrity virtue signalling. Sienna Miller, Rod Stewart, and Penny Lancaster have also signed on, presumably to lend the project a little more Hollywood sparkle. But do any of these individuals have serious credentials in environmental conservation or traditional arts? Hardly. Their involvement feels more like a haphazardly assembled celebrity guest list than a team of serious advocates. These are not changemakers. They are famous faces called in to give the illusion of relevance. What's particularly grating is the underlying hypocrisy. The British royal family, including King Charles himself, has amassed staggering wealth through land ownership, much of which could be put toward meaningful environmental and social initiatives. Instead of genuinely investing in change, they roll out yet another initiative asking young people, many of whom are struggling financially, to take up their cause for free. Meanwhile, the monarchy continues to benefit from taxpayer funding, extravagant estates, and the same exploitative systems they claim to be so concerned about. And let's talk about the optics. The very fact that Beckham'S bees are part of the marketing push is almost laughable. Are we really supposed to be moved by the image of a billionaire athlete tending to his personal beehive, as if that somehow represents a meaningful contribution to sustainability? It's a perfect metaphor for this entire initiative, an out-of-touch vanity project that has little bearing on the real issues facing young people today. This initiative is not just ineffective, it is insulting. It assumes that young people will be inspired by nothing more than celebrity endorsements and feel-good messaging, despite the fact that the monarchy itself is one of the least inspiring institutions in modern Britain. This is an organization that has repeatedly failed to engage with the younger generation in any meaningful way, relying instead on nostalgia, royal weddings, and empty spectacle. Yet somehow, they believe that throwing around words like sustainability and well-being will suddenly make them relevant. If the King's Foundation truly wanted to inspire change, it could start by funding actual grassroots organizations instead of relying on celebrities to peddle its message. It could invest in affordable housing that incorporates sustainable architecture, or support young farmers with grants rather than just awareness campaigns. But that would require real action, and real action is something the British monarchy has spent centuries avoiding. Consider the broader pattern here. The monarchy has a long history of using charities to justify its existence, despite the fact that royal charities often have shockingly little impact. The Royal Foundation, once spearheaded by Prince William and Kate, has been similarly criticised for spending more on administrative costs and PR than on tangible charitable efforts. The Prince's Trust, another of Charles's passion projects, has had its effectiveness questioned time and time again. The model is always the same: a grandiose announcement, a few years of mediocre results, and then silence as the initiative is quietly abandoned. Unveiling the campaign, Chief Executive of the King's Foundation, Christina Murrin, says they are searching for the next generation of makers and changemakers who will act as diverse and impactful representatives for the subjects areas that we represent as a charity and that the King stands for. The vagueness of this statement is its own indictment. What exactly does the King stand for? His harmony philosophy, which posits that all things in nature are interconnected, is a conveniently nebulous concept that allows for endless hand-waving without any real action. It's a feel-good slogan, not a strategy. In the end, this initiative will likely go the way of so many before it, forgotten within months with no tangible impact beyond a few glossy promo videos and a handful of influencers posting about it on Instagram. The King's Foundation may be marking 35 years, but if this is what they have to show for it, one has to wonder, what exactly have they been doing all this time? If Charles were serious about change, he could start by looking inward. The royal estates, some of the largest private landholdings in the UK, could be repurposed for rewilding efforts, sustainable agriculture, or public housing initiatives. Instead, they remain vast symbols of wealth and privilege, while the King continues to lecture ordinary people about their environmental responsibilities. And what of the monarchy's own carbon footprint? The royal family's lavish lifestyle, with its private jets, palaces, and constant international travel, makes a mockery of any environmental stance they claim to hold. It's absurd to hear calls for sustainability from an institution that thrives on excess. Ultimately, this initiative is not about real change. It's about optics. It's about ensuring that Charles appears as a benevolent figurehead who cares about the planet and young people, all while maintaining a status quo that serves only the elite. It is the definition of performative activism, and no amount of celebrity endorsements or buzzwords will change that. The King's Foundation isn't leading the charge for meaningful change. It's barely even participating. And that's a wrap, squaddies. Thanks for watching and being part of this amazing journey. You guys are the best, and I love you all. Your support means the world to me. If you had a good time, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to catch our next adventure. Drop your thoughts, questions, or even just a quick hello in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Share this with your friends, your family, or anyone who could use a little inspiration. Until next time, stay awesome, stay motivated, stay safe, and keep shining. Catch you later, squaddies.